Hello and welcome to the e-learning on finding further funding. This is Module 2, where we'll explore the different types of funders and funding that are suitable for you at this stage of your journey. There are 3 modules in this e-learning for finding further funding. In this module on identifying funders, your learning objectives are to define why you need further funding as you co-design, test, and scale up your prototype and minimum viable product. These core competencies are essential for you as a team and the ones which funders and investors look for when they explore with you. Before you start approaching funders, let's start with why you need further funding at this stage of your solution development. As an innovation team, you're typically somewhere in the green zone on this visual as an early stage startup. You're still in this phase and you need to continue to secure funds so that you can scale up production and testing, sales and marketing, and actually dedicate the time needed to running the business. To choose the right funders and build a strong and positive relationship with them, be clear on why you need the further funding and how you'll use that funding to support the development of your solution. What activities do you need funding for? How will securing this funding help you to validate the problem via testing of your prototype with your research partner? How will securing this funding help you to scale up production of your MVP, your minimum viable product? How will securing this funding help you to get your solution to the market? This table from the European Social Innovation Competition Funding Toolkit gives you a snapshot overview of the types of funders and funding. Which InnoSuisse funds can you apply for now?
The innovation teams, after the first support by the Innovation Booster, and in particular by the Living Labs, they can apply, they can check a whole range of further support by InnoSuisse. In particular, if they are led, for example, by an SME, they could access a mentoring voucher. Via this mentoring voucher, they can get in touch, they can discuss with a mentor. We have 21 mentors active in Switzerland. And this mentor could identify funding support in InnoSuisse or at regional, cantonal level for the idea to progress further. At InnoSuisse itself, we also fund innovation projects. So an idea that develops into a project could access up to 15,000 francs under the shape of an InnoCheck. This InnoCheck can be used at any research partner in Switzerland to start a collaboration with a research partner. And then finally, we also fund bigger size innovation projects. These do not have a maximum amount of funding. These do not have a maximum length of the project. So these are really big scale projects. If the idea is successful after the first phase, if a prototype is developed, then the innovation team can certainly find funding at InnoSuisse in these shapes. When an innovation team or an innovator applies to InnoSuisse, one fundamental aspect of the application or the proposal has to be the impact that they see of their product or process or service on economy or on society. And during the application process already, they should really try to quantify this impact, try to define and describe the impact as much as possible. To have an impact, you have to have a problem before. So society or economy needs to have a problem, and it's very important to do this type of study. So a customer test, maybe a customer study, even just a survey before the application to be able to justify the impact that the applicant sees.
What other federal funds are available? You can check out the Swiss Federal Office for Energy's website, and you can also check out the Regio Suisse website, which is under development. Let's hear from Daniel Zürcher about the opportunities for funding from the Federal Office for the Environment.
Alors nous avons en fait 2 catégories de projets. Nous avons une catégorie, c'est plutôt des petits projets, ce qu'on appelle les études de faisabilité ou les proof of concept. Donc jusqu'à un financement de 50 000 francs de notre part. Le processus est assez simple. c'est-à-dire qu'une demande peut nous être adressée en tout temps. Pour les plus grands projets qui dépassent 50 000 francs, il y a un processus qui fait que 2 fois par année, nous avons un jury qui se rencontre, un comité d'experts qui va évaluer pendant une journée toutes ces demandes et qui va donner un avis. Et selon le budget à disposition, on va pouvoir financer un certain nombre de ces projets qui nous sont soumis. Avec ce programme, nous pouvons financer des innovations qui nous sont proposées soit par des institutions de recherche ou des hautes écoles ou des écoles spécialisées, ou bien alors par des entreprises. Souvent, ce sont des collaborations entre les scientifiques et les industriels des entreprises. Alors le premier critère qui est aussi en fait le poids le plus important dans l'évaluation, c'est qu'est-ce que ça apporte pour l'environnement. Ensuite, on regarde est-ce qu'il y a un aspect innovation, est-ce que ça existe à l'étranger mais pas en Suisse. À ce moment-là, on peut accepter que ce soit quand même innovatif si c'est une première pour la Suisse. Ça peut aussi être une innovation qui existe déjà dans un certain domaine et qui sera appliquée dans un nouveau domaine. Et le troisième critère, c'est on regarde le potentiel commercial. Est-ce qu'il y a une demande pour cette technologie? Est-ce qu'il y a un marché?
Where can you find organisations that give grants and loans? You can research Swiss foundations on the Federal Office for the Environment website. This has a web application where you can search more than 600 foundations which are active in the sectors of energy and environment, using the different selection criteria to narrow down your search. You can also use Startup Ticker, which enables you to select on different criterias. And you can use the fundraiser.ch website to explore further. Remember, each foundation will have their own conditions for application and award of funds. You can research prizes and awards on the Startup Ticker website too, selecting the energy and clean tech criteria to narrow down your search. What about crowdfunding? Let's hear from Elise Avesano from the WeMakeIt.com platform.
So crowdfunding, as a short answer, it is a fundraising campaign in which you do not target a single individual or organization, but as many people as you can. But I like to say, in even shorter words, that crowdfunding is not only a fundraising campaign, but it is, above all, a communications campaign. Because its objective is to target as many people as possible, it means that it really goes together with a proper communications or even marketing strategy to sell an idea or a product or a service. WeMakeIt is the largest platform for crowdfunding in Switzerland. We have a big community of about 500,000 people, and we've helped over 5,000 projects so far. We have different partnerships and different boosters. So there are specific pages dedicated to specific categories of projects. Let's say projects initiated by women, projects for climate change, for example. And we have as well a whole category on innovation and science.
And what about business angels? There are many business angels and business angel networks in Switzerland. Business angels are generally wealthy people who invest in early stage startups, providing cash or capital in return for a share of ownership in the business. This is equity funding. You can find these via startupticker.ch to get started. What advice would you give to an innovation project or team seeking funding?
So when submitting an application, it's very important that this application sounds scientific basis. So the science behind, not only technology, but the science in general behind needs to be verified already. This is mostly not a problem for us, but we see really lack of customer research in the sense of identifying the problem and the pain point that the project will solve in the future. And this is maybe one of the main weak points in the applications that we see.
Alors, je recommanderais surtout de bien se renseigner sur ce qui existe déjà. parce que on a beaucoup de gens qui viennent chez nous, ils ont l'impression d'avoir la super idée et ça fait un moment qu'ils ont travaillé dessus. Et puis nous, vu qu'on baigne là-dedans depuis 20 ans, 25 ans maintenant, on se rend très vite compte que ça existe déjà. Par exemple, souvent c'est en Romandie, on regarde pas ce qui existe en Suisse allemande. Et c'est important vraiment de faire une bonne recherche sur Internet pour se rendre compte est-ce qu'on est avec notre idée quelque part vraiment innovant ou pas. Donc ça, je dirais, c'est la principale erreur. Et puis l'autre erreur, c'est, je dirais, se doter vraiment du bon accompagnement, soit scientifique, soit, par exemple, d'avoir déjà des lettres d'intention au niveau de premiers clients qui montrent qu'il y a un intérêt pour ce produit.
We'll learn more in the next module about how to build relationships with funders and investors. Congratulations on completing the second module in this e-learning course. Before we wrap up, take another stock take of your competencies. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Any feedback from you on what we can do better is widely appreciated. We look forward to seeing you soon.